What is good, Horror Horde? This is your boy Horror Gamer back with another video for you. And in today's video is actually one of two uploads I'm going to be doing today. And also, this video is a brand new series that me and a buddy of mine who we become really close, actually, Blu-ray Anarchy. Me and him have become really close, and we like discussing films and stuff. So we decided to do this collab video where we would take two movies, the remake for a movie and the original, and we would decide which one's better. So he just did My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine 3D. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I'm going to put a link in the description box so you guys can go ahead and definitely check it out. It was an awesome video, and while you're over there, shoot him a subscribe and hit his dingly ding ding button. That way every time he throws up a cool video, you're in the know. So with all that being said, I decided to go the slasher route as well, and boy do I got one for you. In my episode of Which is Better, we're going to be tackling the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So let's just get right into it. Which one's better? So we're going to start with this one first. So this movie at the time was the pinnacle of slasher at its time. It had this very backwoods family set in the state of Texas of cannibals, and they're just crazy. And right there, Leatherface was the son who wore human skin. And this movie, believe it or not, is actually based on a true story. It's based on a man named Ed Gein. He would wear human skin. He was a fucking crazy nut. So anyway, this takes place in the 70s, and it's this group of teenagers or young adults traveling through the state of Texas, and they come across this hitchhiker. Well, when they come across this hitchhiker, that's when all hell breaks loose. So apparently the town they're driving through, it's dying. It's dead. Like the slaughterhouse gets shut down. Like everything is just, this town is dying. And everybody is left except for this family. And for what it was back in the 70s and how it was made, like the practical effects were good. There's some imagery where it's just haunting. Like there's a scene where the guy on the wheelchair is being pushed through the woods at night. They're being chased by Leatherface, and then out of nowhere, Leatherface comes into the shot, and hits the guy with the wheelchair with the chainsaw. And then there's another scene with the meat hook. That is haunting too, where Leatherface grabs this girl and sticks her up on the meat hook. A lot of good practical effects. Not a lot of blood though. This one managed to get its point across and not use that much blood. And I mean, it was phenomenal. It was a well-made movie. Toby Hooper made this. Gunnar Henson, rest in peace, my friend. You brought a legend to life. Trust me, you made your mark on horror movie history with that man right there. And it was just, Leatherface is this iconic character, and his portrayal of Leatherface was almost like he was mentally challenged, and he was just out for blood. He was a gore fanatic, and it was, well, Gunnar Henson did a bang up job with this movie, and this movie was just phenomenal. I still remember the original cover art to this, and it was one of the creepiest cover arts I've ever seen in my life. But this movie is definitely a must watch, and it was, for its time, it was a juggernaut. It was up there with Halloween. It was up there with Friday the 13th. And then to this day, Leatherface holds his own with our other slashers. Now let's fast forward to the remake starring Jessica Biel. This movie took everything that the original did and just amped it up with gore and blood and, you know, just disturbing imagery and music and just everything. Like, everything about the original came back to this one times 10. And this Leatherface is more of a big burly bruiser who was suffering from a skin condition that basically ate his face. So what he did was he would find dead dogs or coyotes and he would cut them up and wear them as his face. And same story, the town's dying because of the slaughterhouse going out of business. People leave. The Hewitts stick around and they become cannibals, and it's just such a good, it's the remake. This remake is one of the better remakes. I do apologize for the birds in the background, but this is one of the better remakes I have ever seen. And the portrayal of the older, I don't know if he's brother or cousin, by R. Lee Ermey, rest in peace, brother. You did a bang up job with this. He was so good in this movie. He plays the sheriff, and he was just so good in this movie. Like, there's the scene with the hitchhiker. This time they kind of like sex changed the hitchhiker, and it was a girl who basically got away from the Hewitts, and instead of cutting the people in the van this time around who are on their way to a Leonard Skinner concert, she actually pulls a gun out of her vajayjay and blows her face off. And they take her to this town, and then there's a scene where they're wrapping her up in not aluminum foil, in plastic wrap, and they're getting ready to put her in the back of the car, the police cruiser, after they have her wrapped up. And R. Lee Ermey goes, "Get that goddamn thing out of my backseat, put it in the trunk." Like, just the way he talked. Like, he was, you know, if you don't know who R. Lee Ermey is, he's well known for being like drill sergeants in war movies and stuff. He has that voice and he has that loudness to him. So he brought it to this role, and he knocked it out the park. And then, like I said, the portrayal of Leatherface in this, when he's a big bruiser, he still seems along the mentally challenged part, but not as bad as like the original. And yeah, he's this big bruiser. And there's a scene with the meat hook in this one that they really extend. And then there's a part where a leg gets cut off and there's some salt in the wound. Oof, it was just, the gore effects in this one made you cringe. Like, when you saw it, you're like, ooh. Like, in that one, in the original, you're like, ooh. But in the remake, you're just like, ooh, because they depict it more than they did in the original. So this was definitely one of the best remakes I've ever seen in my life. But now, that leads to the ultimate question. Which is better? Is the 70s version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre better? Or is the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre better? I hate to say this because I know there's a lot of people who are always for the original, but I'm going to have to go with the remake. Like I said, the remake for me took everything that the original did and just times it by 10 and added a boatload of blood and gore, and also Jessica Biel in a wet wife beater. That's it. Like, this movie was phenomenal. I'm gonna actually watch this sometime soon and actually do a proper review on it, but I wanted to break this movie out because my buddy and I, like I said, we started this collab, and he made an awesome video on My Bloody Valentine. So I had to get this out because, you know, I was raring to go. I've been waiting to do this for a while. So, but yes, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, in my opinion, is better than the original 1970 version. So with all that being said, Horde, thank you guys. I love you. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button along with that dingly ding ding button. That way every time your boy Horror Gamer throws up one of these videos, or an unboxing, or a creepypasta theater, or a true ghost story, that you're always in the know. And as always, this is your boy Horror Gamer saying thank you. I love you guys. And until next time, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.